But I think my favorite TV show right now is the renovation show. You know those shows where they go in and fix up old crappy houses?
Yeah, like Bob Vila.
Huh?
Bob Vila?
Who?
You know, Bob Vila, this old house?
Yeah, old crappy houses. This show is on Discovery Plus. Do you have Discovery Plus?
No, but I got Disney Plus. You know, Mandalorian, little Baby Yoda.
Anyway, it's like, how did I even live before Discovery Plus? Did I even really live before Discovery Plus?
What even is living? You know the one on Discovery Plus where they're fixing the Anne Frank house? I think it's overdue, really, because it's so gloomy in there.
The Anne Frank Annex, really?
Discovery Plus is like the only channel you need, too, because they have everything on that. They have house hunters, house renovators, no demo show where they actually do demo, but they say they don't demo, but they take down walls and stuff.
All right. Do you want to get out of here and go somewhere? All right. Oh, darn, I just remembered I have an appointment in the morning. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another killer, fantastic, unbelievable, carcinogenic killer episode of the Low Budget Show. We did it! We did it! I've been working on that for 4 episodes. We all win Dogecoins. Woo! Yeah! All right. I don't know if I have any goals in life anymore. It's great to be back, man. I missed you guys. It's been like a really long time since the last episode, and I apologize. I can't seem to get anything done, you know? You joined us for a good one. On today's show, we have reporter Jeremy Ross.
You're immediately thinking to yourself, nothing good is going to come of this, right?
Jeremy stops by.
We were laughing the whole night.
We talk about TV news. We talk about riots in Chicago. We talk about
Dixie, Normous.
So, you'll have to stick around for that. It's going to be a good one. Get a hold of me. It's Damon at DamonMillard.com. Actually, if you're watching this the day that it came out, I let my website expire. I didn't pay it, or no, I just don't do that auto pay shit. You know what I mean? I don't need you going in my pocket and grabbing what I owe you. You know, I like to be like, here you go. I owe you $6. I'll get it for you. Do you know what I mean? But just going in my pocket and grabbing it. I took the auto renew off of my website. I took it off, and because I'll pay you when the bill's due. Oh, I forgot to be quite honest with you. I didn't do it. My website expired, and now I gotta build it from scratch. It's Damon at DamonMillard.com. It will be anyway. I own it again. I gotta set up the mailbox again. So in the meantime, and I never plug this, but send me messages at Millard Comedy. At Millard Comedy on Instagram. At Millard Comedy. Actually, do you guys think that's more simpler? Would you guys rather just send me stuff at my Instagram? Can I stop doing this thing or what? How about this? Why don't you start sending me stuff at Millard Comedy on Instagram? You can send me stuff Damon at DamonMillard.com once I get that back up and running. Which it will be. Why do you guys doubt me so much? I don't like any of this either. You're not alone. We'll be moving on to more fun stuff here in a second. So send me a message. Let me know what you've been doing. It was Mother's Day. How's your mom doing? Tell your mom I said hello. I didn't get my mom a gift, guys. My mom, what am I going to do? Try and get my mom some Newports before they outlaw menthols? I didn't get her a gift. I'm sorry, Ethel. Maybe I'll get her this macaroni and cheese in a can. Your mom doing all right? That's good. That's good, because I know she had that gout. Did your mom subscribe to the show? She did it? Hey, how about this? How about we get everybody's mothers and suggest this show to them? I would love that. There's not enough moms watching this show. I'll tone it down a little bit, maybe. I really won't, but, you know, Let's get mom in here. You know, maybe your mom's driving you to a flea market or something. You can be like, hey, did you see that fucking sketch? Did you see that sketch on a low budget show? Pretty good. This is in England because I'm driving, but I'm looking left, right? Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and share with your friends. Let's recap. We got the 4-episode fuck. We got moms coming on board to watch the show. You guys are going to start sending me messages to @Millard Comedy on Instagram. Also, did you know that the low budget show has an Instagram? Why don't you just send me a message there? Why didn't I think of that till just this second? What is going on, dude? I need a break, man. This part of the show is brought to you by my all-new favorite. I spilled that a little bit. My girlfriend's gonna get mad at me. Don't tell her. She's actually right there watching me. She don't need to know how bad it is, though. Good thing I spilled right into my notebook. I didn't, you guys. I fucking got it all over the carpet. She's watching me right now. I wanted to tell you guys about this. The Coca-Cola coffee. I thought I was gonna hate it. This changed my life more than anything else, and I've read the Bible. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, this makes a lot more sense. It's like weird because like you sip it, and it's just like totally tastes like a Coca-Cola, and then you're done, and the coffee be like. So there's that. But since we're on the subject, I also got this. This is Manhattan Special, delicious espresso premium coffee soda. Now this thing's gonna keep you awake for about 6 months at a clip. So if you're going to jail, don't drink it. You don't want to be awake all that time. You want to be able to sleep some of that off. It's fantastic, except it's way too sugary. I would mix this with something low grade, like cocaine or something like that. We're at the grocery store, and we were looking around. I was looking for these Coca-Colas, and I didn't find those, but I came across Heinz macaroni and cheese in a can. Did you even know they have this? What kind of sick fuck? It's in a creamy cheese sauce. It's macaroni, it's a can, it's cheese. I'm being informed by the producer that it's from Britain. I don't have anything to say about this. I mean, this is why you don't fuck with British people, man. They eat stuff like that. They're like, jolly good. It's jolly good. It's in a can, isn't it? I was on the road, and I stayed in the scariest Red Roof Inn of all time. First of all, we go in, and somebody had pissed all over the toilet paper. We check in. We go into the room. Someone just fucking pissed. I mean, it was dripping off of there. Did the house cleaners do it? I don't understand, man. How did someone piss all over the toilet paper, check out, the house cleaners come in, and there's still a soaking wet toilet paper? So that was red flag 1. We go to the gig and we come back, and we just noticed drug activity in the room right next to us. Like, there's no mistaking it. You know what I mean? Walking skeletons with too much energy, pounding on the doors, you know. So we go in the room, and we tried to get the room changed, and no. We were like, let's just watch some TV. You know what I mean? Let's fucking hunker down. No remote control. They didn't have a remote control in the room. There was drug activity next door. Our toilet paper was pissed on. There was feces on the wall, though. Didn't charge us for that. Also, I got a haircut on the road. I didn't use the Russian dude with the wavy eye this time. I went to Great Clips, and this is the haircut that I got. This is the exact one, and now I know why they call it Great Clips, because after you get your haircut, you're like, great. I didn't realize how good I had it with fucking old Blinky Eye over here, because she fucked me up, you know what I mean? And she was black, so I was like, oh, she's gonna give me a good fade, but I don't know. You tell me, I don't think it's great. And then I go, hey, my Russian dude, usually hooks me up on the eyebrow situation. And she was like, okay, I'll do that, right? And I don't know, that's not really her voice. She was like, okay, I'll do that. So she goes and she cuts it. And I knew something was up because she never let me have the mirror. I didn't see the back of my head till I got back to the hotel room. So then I go up in the mirror. I don't know if you guys can still see it or if it's grown back a little bit. Can you see that at all? But, yeah, there's like there's a whole thing going on here. She jammed me up. I will tell you this, I crushed the 4 shows that I did. Killed, murdered, crushed, and destroyed. But other than that, man, I can't sleep on the road. So that means I'm up like super early, right? I'm always like waking up like way early, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm with a very depressed comedian. He's told me he was going to kill himself 9 times on the trip. And I'm like, well, what, do you wait until the end? I mean, come on, man. And so he's sleeping in. So I'm in prison. This guy's sleeping from the moment we get to the hotel to the moment we have to check out. I'm over there just sitting in a bed. I'm just sitting in a dark room on a bed. Wasn't fun. Here are some photos from the tour. We were in Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Kentucky, and then I went to see my Uncle Chuck. Here's a picture of that. Got to hang with Chooch for a little bit. Did you know this about my Uncle Chucky? He went to prison for stealing a beer truck. After he stole it and drove it out into the woods, he opened it, no beer. No beer. Maybe that should be a cartoon, huh? I got to see Uncle Chooch, though. That was the big highlight of the whole trip. I went over there on Sunday, which was Mother's Day. By the way, I went over there on that day. I specifically waited until I got to Uncle Chuck's before I called my mom, because I knew Uncle Chuck would take over that phone call. Didn't have to think of an excuse to get off the phone because she was trying to get off the phone so she didn't have to talk to my uncle. Fucking, you think I'm not a genius? I am white trash genius, dude. Anyway, I do owe my mom a carton of Newports before they stop allowing her to buy menthols, so I'm going to have to get her a belated Mother's Day present. I will do that. We got Jeremy Ross coming up, and so let's get the fuck out of here. Thank you guys. Tell a friend.
Oh, hey there. I'm Brandon Wellwater, and history is my passion. Unfortunately, history is so dated, and most landmarks have now become eyesores. And that's why I've decided to grab my tool belt and bring the past into the 21st century. So I invite you along as we do a little
Fixing History.
Today, we're going behind the secret bookshelf at the old Anne Frank house. Although it needs an update, we have a good deal to work with. Just look at the size of this kitchen. Spacious, but awfully cluttered. First, we gotta get rid of all this tacky junk. Next, we'll install a window to bring in some light. Why hide these hardwood floors? We'll install these contemporary upper cabinets. Clean lines rule. We'll bring in butcher block countertops for warmth. Lots of space for panicocking. For a touch of pizzazz, we've got this contrasting quartz backsplash and bright white walls.
Fixing History.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Low Budget Show, and joining me now is, I guess, former reporter Jeremy Ross, former co-worker of mine, great friend. Jeremy, hey, what's up, man?
How you doing, Damon? Good to see you.
Pleasure having you on the show.
Pleasure, dude.
And it's just great to see you again.
I miss working with you, man, and I've been watching on the YouTubes, on the Instagram, and you're doing great work. You're making me laugh, and what we all need is good work and to keep laughing.
Talk to me about getting out, if you don't mind. Like,
it's fine, man. You know, like I love doing what I was doing, and I had a blast. But you know, the pandemic hits, and it just became so apparent that like it didn't love me back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, you have to ask yourself in certain cases. It's like, you know, the risk, the sacrifice versus the reward. And I just said to myself, I'm like, you know, man, I'm not sure this is adding up really well. So, you know, you do that. You ask yourself sort of, you know, what other things can you do? And basically what I'm doing is I'm working for a healthcare company, and I'm their director of communications. So I'm kind of still doing a lot of the video work, but I don't have to knock at anyone's door to ask them how they feel after their loved one has been shot and killed.
I know.
So to me, that's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, that's a step up, man.
I still have lots of friends in the business. They're wonderful. They're talented, excellent people. And I wish them nothing but the best. And I also wish that they will be safe. Like here in Chicago, where I was working, you know, like we have an epidemic in like, you know, carjackings. We got the pandemic, shootings. And it's like one of the reporters was talking to me and he's like, I just don't want to get sick, carjacked or shot. And I'm like, we all kind of want that.
Yeah. Well, let me say this. You've done your duty. Producers call and yeah, I've been in the car where you're like, you're not going to believe what they want us to do. But you've done it like a soldier. You know, you didn't complain too much and you've won a lot of awards for your quality work. And man, I'm very glad to have gotten to know you in the field, and you're one of the best, man.
Don't make me cry, man. This was
that's good for ratings, man.
Exactly.
How do you feel right now?
Exactly. So cut, and then it's just I'm so emotional, Damon.
Yeah.
It's just such a pleasure, man.
I had back in like I think when I worked in Tulsa, I had a little mini tape where I would save all of the I can't believe this is happening. Oh, nothing like that has ever happened around here. We leave our doors open. Like I had like a tape of cliche, you know, it was.
Oh, dude, it's amazing.
I told my friend this just today. I was like, I may have found my next interview for the low budget show. And he goes, who? And I go, Jeremy Ross. He was a reporter at Fox 6. And he goes, do I know him? And I was like, oh, he was on that meme where the bartender got shot and it said bartender wanted behind it. He was like, oh, yes. So he couldn't picture you from your reporting.
No, not at all. Not at all. Which, by the way, is another reason why I'm leaving and I'm saying to myself, I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is not a bad idea. But the thing that you do is totally like not even thought of, but like the meme, that's what people remember. It's like there was someone from Copenhagen, Denmark.
Yeah.
Who did like a friend of mine in Chicago, and like I ran into her, and she's like, "You're the guy on the meme."
You're the guy on the meme.
Copenhagen, Denmark.
No matter how many Emmys you've won, you will always be the guy from the meme.
And the guy who got kissed at Summerfest.
Guy who got kissed at Summerfest. I remember that.
Peace Action Wisconsin says they're not looking for any additional changes to the U.S. Army tent or U.S. Army booth. And at this point, it would appear that all the parties are pretty much on the same page. I'm apparently making lots of friends out here. Thanks, man.
You know, that guy actually, he actually reached out to me like right as I was leaving. And he's like, hey, man, I just wanted to finally reach out to you. You know, you're a good dude. I hope I didn't embarrass you or anything. Like, he was actually really cool about it. I was like halfway out the door anyways. I would have loved to have like, you know, met up with him and just chatted about that. And actually, because that was hilarious.
That would have been a great story.
Totally, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a good dude. Everyone thought that he looked like one of the guys from Metallica.
I mean, you got a lot of mileage out of that, though.
Dude, when it first happened, I was just like, oh my God, am I going to get in trouble for this? He's like, that was like early in the process of like, you did something stupid, it ended up on YouTube, and then you became like an industry pariah. Like, whatever happened to that woman stomping grapes?
That good?
Yeah.
How about the lady who was like, I can't hear shit?
Right.
Got fired, right?
I mean, I don't, like, do we know? Like, were they fired? Were they murdered? I don't know. We don't know where they went.
What's one of the most memorable stories that you covered?
You and I, man, Bluebird.
There is something missing in the tranquility of Greendale. The wildlife's still here, but one bird's flown the coop.
It was gone.
I couldn't believe it.
Bluebird. I loved Bluebird.
Bluebird was fantastic. And I think the best part about that story was that I know that there was some colossal like technical issue that we had to troubleshoot, because I remember like we were like so done early, script was ready.
Of
we
course.
Like, oh, we're gonna crush this. We had a sandwich too.
Yeah. We were like kicking back. It's always like when you get that extra little break before you have to start logging sound, right? You're like,
and it was like, I don't know what happened. Like either we couldn't send it or like the system crashed 9 times. There was some like profuse sweating in editing the final moments of that.
every time we have one that we're just like, it's in the bag. That's an award winner. Every time something happens. Bluebird was a solid one.
And then of course, the stuff that you use in your comedy routine, that's a funny story, dude. And I mean, God, there are some stories that you do that like people don't see in like real time and all the behind the scenes stuff, man. That to this day is still funny.
I know which one you're talking about. I talked about that on stage for the first time in that like farewell show I did it in Milwaukee that you came to without really writing it. I didn't have to write it. I just told what happened to us. I've tried to tell it on stage after that, and it really just doesn't work. But I tell it in conversations. And that story is this. There was a bunch of floods in Milwaukee, and a bunch of people lost homes and had some severe home damage. FEMA had come into town and were taking like applications, to get FEMA aid. This lady who was denied called the station, complained, and we decided to go see what the story was.
Because every great news story starts with someone calling and complaining.
That's pretty much the rule. Hey, we got a complaint over here. Can you go check that out?
Exactly. Like we're the world's complaint box.
And the problem is people take advantage of that. Some people really have gotten the help they need by calling the station, So me and Jeremy go and we check out this lady who's like, I can't believe they denied us. Look at the damage of our home. And I didn't see anything. You know what I mean? She was like, at one point she was like, do you see this? Like there was like the wall of the front of her house had like a little nick or something.
Yeah, there was like some water lines, but clearly wet.
Yeah, it had been wet for sure. She didn't not go through anything. I just don't think there was any lasting damage. And some people were basically homeless at this point. And she's over here like, you see where the water had come up on my... I'm like, it's not really reading on camera. Do you have anything worse you could show us? And she was like, well, I took some photos, right? This is where the whole thing goes off the rails. She was like, I have some photos on my computer.
Just we had no idea what was coming, man.
Right. So I was like, okay, I'll shoot the photos off the screen if you pull them up on your computer.
And for the record, this was during a time technologically, like texting photos, that wasn't really the thing that people were generally.
Yeah. We kind of take that for granted now that we could just move a photo from your phone to your phone to our computer to the station like in a matter of seconds. We take that for granted now, where back then that was like the early 2000s, maybe something like that.
Man, time is a construct.
Yeah, it's really hard to remember. So she starts pulling up photo after photo, and there's no damage in these first few photos. And she's like, it's in here somewhere. So then she goes on a rapid clicking of her mouse.
Yeah, and by the way, like we're seeing like random photos of like a small daughter or like a party in the backyard.
Yeah, like a birthday party, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, and then she's like, they're in here somewhere, and she's clicking and clicking, and then all of a sudden there's just like this huge, massive cock. Like it's a huge penis. It's like a big veiny. Like, I don't even think HD was a thing at that point, right? And this was the highest def thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was like 3D, man.
It was 3D.
And this was not a subtle picture.
256 colors for sure. It was not subtle. It was huge. I saw it. I'm recording it. Actually, I'm recording it. And I looked at her, and me and her make eye contact, and she's like, oh, sorry about that. And so she's clicking, but I think she means to click back. But what she does is she clicks forward, and she was so embarrassed that she clicked it so fast that like the computer needed to catch up. So it was just like cock, dick, 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 dick. She had so many dick pictures.
I'm in there. Imagine like visually someone splashing you with ice water. That was the feeling that I think we got when that first one hit. And like, we're all seeing this. And, like, there's part of me where I'm like, this is your personal pictures, man. It's totally, it's all on, you, that sort of thing. And now I can't even explain the subsequent 12.
Yeah, they just kept coming. And you know what the real funny part was? It was like dick, flood damage, dick. I was like, did you take a time out? Did you take time out from having sex to go get some damage pictures?
Look, what? It's just like, of the 1,000,010 things that you and I would probably see during a flood damage picture, stranger's penis would be extremely low on the list.
I didn't expect to see a stranger's dick at that house. No.
No, I mean, like, and so often in the broadcast world, the bosses will say, like, you're responsible for other duties as assigned.
Yeah, this seemed above and beyond.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hazard pay is a word that comes to mind. Because I was kind of messed up after a while. I felt like me and you shared something real intimate. You know what I mean? Like it was like a weird drive back to the station. Like it was complete silence. Usually me and you were joking. It was like complete silence.
It was. Here's the thing: is I think that both of us were like, we've seen some stuff. We didn't go through like a war-torn situation, but like there was that same sort of feeling. And then I remember distinctly, hey, you want to pick something up to eat? And I was just like, you want to go to the Subway for the $5 footlong?
Yes. And then I had an internal conflict because I'm very cheap. And but I didn't want anything phallic shaped in my mouth. You know what I mean? So can we get anything like a pasta, maybe a flat food?
Working with you was a blast. And it was. And
you too. For people who are watching, they don't know that when I get to work, I don't know who I'm working with yet. And then you go up to the big board and then your name is next to a reporter. And when I got Jeremy Ross, I was like, this guy's going to be in it to make something together. You know what I mean? Whereas other reporters are like, you know that they're going to take over and like you get what you get. But if I'm working with Jeremy Ross, he's going to watch my video. He's going to write to that video. He's not going to leave me out in the lurch. Like if I got a shot of a dog crossing a street, somewhere in the script, it's going to say dogs were prowling or something, And
it's weird because you kind of like explained it in a way, like the NFL draft is coming up. And that's kind of what happens when photographers and reporters get matched up. And you're like, oh, please, God, not the New York Jets, not the Detroit Lions. No.
Yeah.
So I am thrilled and proud to, be the equivalent of, say, like the Patriots from about 6 years ago. I don't want to even put myself on that level, like a decent Packers team.
And without dropping any names, it was just like you come in and if you see your name next to a certain, and it's got to be that way with reporters and photographers, right? So there's certain photographers that like, if you saw your name next to theirs, you're just like, well, it's a shit night. And you're
just like, how horrible is my night going to be?
Yeah.
There were, and there are some really good people who are working there. And, there were like, 2 or 3 people that sucked, but I think that's like every business. You are a hell of a very good photojournalist.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Skills. So give yourself a lot of credit there. And for the record, you're also a funny dude. So you're a double threat. You're a double threat. I
appreciate that, Jeremy. Yeah.
I know your check's in the mail, and I know I should not love the amount, but I do appreciate it.
I sent what I could give. I was a better employee until I found stand-up. Once I found stand-up, I didn't want to be at work anymore. You know what I mean?
Comedy ruined you.
Comedy did ruin me. My love was photojournalism. When I first started at Fox 6, I would come in on days I wasn't working and grab my gear and go find a story to shoot and put together a nap pack.
If I remember correctly, you would put together like mini soap operas, like I don't know, like telenovelas. I don't even know. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, comedy did ruin me. There was a time, listen to this story. There was a time when I had just first started comedy. And it was weird because I still loved being a photographer. It was just comedy was more like being in complete charge. Obama was speaking in Madison. And I had a show the night before. And I was going to be there all night. And when I first started comedy, I drank a lot. you know, because of nerves and stuff. And Wilson put me on that assignment. And it was like, I had to get up I had to start driving to Madison at like 5 a.m. or something to like switch out with the morning crew. And I told him, I was like, listen, you didn't even ask me about this. I don't think I can do this. I'm going to be on stage tonight. And he's like, it's too late. You had to get, you know, because you had to get like Secret Service clearance and stuff. And your gear has to be in place for the dogs to sniff bombs.
By the way, how did you actually make clearance?
I have no clue. I don't think they really check. You know what I mean?
Obvious. I mean,
I think honestly, I think a Secret Service check is simply they just went to my Facebook page. They didn't see no ISIS stuff, and they were like, "All right, I guess you know he's white. Let him go."
That's amazing you made clearance.
I had no idea, but I did have a lanyard that said White House Press Pool at some point. I don't know how I did that. So anyway, I was like, okay, I did my best. I didn't drink that night, and that was probably the first time I ever did comedy completely sober. And I was like, well, I was in bed on time, and I woke up and I was like, wow, I feel really fresh. And then I look at my phone, the alarm did not go off. There was like 90 missed calls. I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? I called the station and they were like, where the hell are you? You know what I mean? I went and I picked up Tammy Hughes. She was the reporter, right? And she was just livid. You know what I mean? She was very angry about it. She gets in and she's like, it's pointless. We'll never make it to Madison. You know what I mean? It takes like an hour and change to get to Madison. And we had about 30 minutes to get there. And so I start driving and she falls asleep. And I fucking hit the gas pedal, dude. And we were like, I was like going like this, right? We got there. I didn't make the exact time that I was supposed to be there, but Chris Hike was the morning photographer. He left his gear in place. And by the time we got there, I was able to take over, use his gear, and boom. That was a memorable day. We did it. Tammy has no idea till she watches this that we were going like 120.
I'm not saying that, President Barack Obama is going to be watching this, but do check your security, man, because Millard got through.
Yeah. Dude, how did I do it? I had 2 felonies when I started working at Fox 6, you know? How are you letting me near the president?
Or for that matter, Girl Scouts selling cookies.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't allowed to do any stories at schools, but here I am.
The latest one, and this was here in Chicago. This is the heroic story of Dixie Normous.
Dixie Normous. Real name?
Dixie Normous. You're immediately thinking to yourself, nothing good is going to come of this, right?
It can't. I mean, I don't know where you're going to take me, but I'm in for the ride.
Okay, follow me on this one. As you're well aware, we do a lot of stories about complaints.
We're the watchdogs.
Exactly. And, one of either a producer or someone I worked with had found something on Twitter, which was like a cry for help. Bless her heart, which in Southern language kind of means, what a stupid idea. She's like, hey, I found this on Twitter, and I think it's something that we should take a look at. And normally you get this stuff, you take a look at it, you reach out to the person, or you go to the area where it actually took place. So here is the start of the story. It's just Twitter. Check out this death poll, just waiting to happen.
So what are we looking at here? Just like a slanted street sign?
Death poll, right?
Death poll, yeah.
So,
we got time to fill. Let's get Jeremy over there.
Let Jeremy sing and dance like a trained monkey. This is where stuff gets a little weird, is when I took a look at the full tweet.
Oh, Dixie. That Dixie Normous.
I want to tell you that this is made up. It's too insane to be made up.
Dixie Normous. Check out this death poll. That could be the name of a porno right there.
I do want to kind of run back to the initial point.
Yeah, let's look at this poll again.
Well,
no pun intended, Jeremy.
Let's just think about the entire picture here for a second. Dixie Normous is sending us a tip about a death poll. And the worst part about it is the more you really think about this, the funnier it gets. They're going to send Ross.
Of course, Ross. Ross has got experience with this.
One of the layers that makes this hilarious is that we actually went to the area where this occurred and we did a news story.
Aging light poles crashing down around Chicago. CBS 2's Jeremy Ross in Streeterville, where one of them fell. Jeremy.
I reached out, but did not hear back.
You didn't? You didn't get a bite from Dixie Normous? I got you here now, and I have total access to you. My brain is just like, here's what I'm saying. If I got off of here, I'm going to be like, oh my God, why didn't you ask me about this or that or this? Or why didn't you just tell him that you miss him? And he was, and like fucking, nope. Dixie Normous references wall to wall,
Well, listen, I will tell you that, for people who don't work in the business, it's about relationships, and with good reporters and very good photojournalists, that's critical. And you were among the best. And I miss working with you, man. And it was a pleasure. And I'm so glad that you're doing something that you love, even if it destroyed you.
Yeah.
And, I want you to keep it up because I'm watching and I think it's hilarious.
Right back at you, man. I mean, honestly, some of those nights you had to be there, dude. Like the stories, there's no replacing those years in my life. You know what I mean? I wouldn't trade it for anything, dude. Thank you, Jeremy. Good luck on your future endeavors. Whatever you do, you're going to do it the best. I wish you all the luck in the world. And that's it for the Low Budget Show. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you.
What were we talking about?
The Low Budget Show with Damon Millard.
I still love you.